Hi, in this video I want to introduce you to a concept which I call as block UI driven development. I've been in the search of finding the perfect folder structure and the perfect way to write my React components, organize the React components. So this is my existing project where I have the sign in page. Under the pages directory there is a sign in folder and there is index.tsx. This is pretty straightforward. I input the input field, the password field and other set of components that are needed for this, and I compose them in this way. So generally if you want to do a sign up page or sign in page, you input the relevant components that you need and you start right away coding, right? I want to introduce to this pattern an alternate pattern. So here I'm not importing any components, I'm just importing one particular component called sign in, and everything is inside sign in. So it's like sign in input field, sign in password field, sign in checkbox, sign in dot button. I want to show you the corresponding thing that I'm extracting. So if you notice there is this flex, I extracted it as sign in dot button group, and there is sign in dot checkbox, there it was checkbox. Let me show you how I created this. Okay, so basically it's all under sign in block.tsx. This is where I do all the import of button, checkbox and everything. And if you notice, the sign in component is just a wrapper component. So if you notice, whatever is inside it, the children is getting rendered, and sign in dot button group is just a flex thing that I extracted. So here again it's pretty obvious, so but I'm creating it as sign in dot button group. And if you notice, sign in dot button is nothing but the button component. If I do sign in dot checkbox, it's just checkbox whatever I have imported here. So the thing that I want to stress here is that we have to think in terms of blocks. I consider blocks as the smallest unit of component, just like cent is the smallest unit of dollar, just like satoshi is the smallest unit of bitcoin. I consider blocks as the smallest unit. First we need to define the blocks in something like signin.blocks.tsx, and we have to define all the UI blocks that are needed. In case if you need if you want to create a separate block, let's say there's a sign in container and this is a huge component, you create it under something like sign in container.block.tsx, so it is a small block. So if I take a look at inside the sign in directory, I know the block that are making this particular page. I know that the sign in.blocks.tsx is where everything is exported at one go. So this way your developer or your team can start first writing the blocks, right, and then start writing the index.tsx where you compose everything together. So I would suggest you do this block UI driven development where you first decide upon creating this block UI. It's just not for the this thing pages, it's also for the component. Here I have the sidebar component where there is this sidebar and sidebar.item. Again here also you could have that blocks.tsx defined and the block thing. So this is kind of cool, is it not? And in the next video I want to talk about the integration test. The thing is, I also wrote the integration test in the same folder. So this is the test that I wrote for this particular pages component. I don't have to test individually every component that is associated with this page. I don't have to test the block component because these blocks are very simple thing. So, and I also have this use affecting based on a blog post which I will discuss in my future video. So these things are extracted out into a separate custom hook. So I want to emphasize the pattern where we don't use any sort of use effect or use state in component. We always use custom hook. It's based on a blog post called use encapsulation. It's a really good blog post. We will discuss in the future video. And thank you for watching this. Bye.